Nottingham Forest have been the biggest spenders in the Championship so far, spending a total of £25 million. The new Forest owner, whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but this Greek guy clearly can't be asked for another season of consolidation in the Championship and has decided to provide the funds to invest heavily in the squad and go make a serious bid at promotion into the Premier League. A squad overhaul has taken place, and today we'll have a look at exactly who Forest have been splashing the cash on. So we'll start off with the biggest signing of the summer for Forest so far, and that is the 21-year-old Portuguese attacking midfielder João Carvalho from Benfica, who moved to Forest for a total of £13 million. And he did have the choice to move to Wolves last year, but rejected and opted to go on loan to Victoria in Portugal instead for the season. It is clear to see that Forest have seen the success Wolves had last year in bringing in these Portuguese wonder kids, and seem to be trying to replicate that success this year. Now, Forest absolutely smashed the club record transfer fee, which was previously Britta Sombalonga from Peterborough for £6 million. So when you're doubling your record transfer fee, you obviously expect to be bringing in quality, and that's exactly what Carvalho is. He can either play in the attacking midfield role, sat just behind the striker, or played a bit further back in central midfield. But without a doubt, his biggest asset is his vision and ability to pick out a pass to unlock defences. Benfica manager Rui Victoria said that Carvalho has the ability to see what other players don't. Another quality youngster emerging, and he has shown his value. Forest fans will obviously be hoping that he has the same impact on the team that Ruben Neves had last year at Wolves. However, Neves was already a semi-regular starter for Porto and had already captained the first team, whereas João has struggled to break into the Benfica first team and is a bit more unproven than Neves, but he still has obvious talent and ability. Going out and spending £13 million is definitely a statement of intent from Forest, proving that they aren't pissing around this summer compared to last, where the marquee signing was Daryl Murphy for £2 million. So from one Portuguese wonder kid who's come through the Benfica academy to another is their next signing Diogo Goncalves, a 21-year-old winger from Benfica who they've signed on loan with a view to signing on a permanent at the end of the season. Similarly to Carvalho, Diogo also had the option to move to Wolves last year but rejected, and Diogo is highly rated in Benfica, hence why they're not willing to let him go on a permanent deal quite just yet, but he has struggled for first team football due to the amount of quality wingers already ahead of him at Benfica. He can play on either wing or behind the striker, although his favourite position is the left wing where he likes to cut in on his right. Benfica fans say that he's technically a very gifted and creative player who has moments of brilliance and can create something out of nothing. However, he is often criticised for being a bit too lightweight, which could be a issue in the Championship, and others also question his decision making as he tends to hold on to the ball for a bit too long at times. On to yet again another Portuguese player, and that is the loan sign of 21-year-old winger Gil Dias from Monaco. Yet again another winger, and Forest really do have some quality and depth out wide now, with Dias, Diogo, Lollit and Matty Cash, so there's plenty of options for Karanka out wide. Since joining Monaco, Dias has only made one start but has been out on loan to Varzim, where he started 14 times, scoring 6 goals. He then moved out on loan to Rio Ave in the top tier of Portugal, where he scored 6 goals and assisted 6 times in 34 games. He then later moved out on loan to Serie A side Fiorentina for a less successful loan spell compared to his others, where he made 27 appearances, scoring 2 goals and getting 2 assists. Dias is a very pacey and skillful wide player with plenty of flair and able to beat a man, but a lack of consistency was his downfall at Fiorentina, where he showed glimpses of brilliance but just not enough. But either way, it does look like another quality signing for Forest. However, obviously it's no good having technically gifted creative players when you don't have a prolific striker to put the ball into the net. Forest haven't had that type of player since Britta Sombalonga left. Murphy could have been that player, but he just didn't look the same after his injury, which is why signing Lewis Grabban from Bournemouth for £6 million could be the best piece of business of the summer for Forest. A proven goalscorer at this level, who was a key player for Villa last season when they were struggling up top for goals, scoring 8 in 15 and even scoring 12 in 19 in that god-awful Sunderland team that got relegated last season. With the likes of Dias, Carvalho and Diogo to feed off, you could definitely be looking at 20 plus goals next season, and that front line is enough to scare any Championship team, which is what you'd expect for the money spent on them. Moving on to another winger that Forest have signed, and they've got more wingers than they'll know what to do with next season, is Hilal Soudani for a fee of £2 million from Dynamo Zagreb. This guy is very experienced at 30 years old. He has Champions League pedigree, has a superb goal scoring record for his country Algeria, scoring 21 goals in 41 matches for them, and played a key part in the 2014 World Cup squad that reached the last 16 and took Brazil to extra time. He scored a very impressive 69 goals in 132 games in his 5 years in the Croatian top division. His best position is cutting in from the right wing, however he can also play up top, so he just adds more depth to that striker position as well, behind Graben, Brenton and Murphy. As for the last Portuguese player that has been brought in, is one Forest fans are quite familiar with, as he was on loan last season, is the centre-back Figueiredo from Sporting Lisbon for a fee of £1 million. Figueiredo joined on loan in January last season, and he just helped to steady the ship a bit in defence. Him and Cox did develop a good relationship at the back, but with new signing Michael Dawson coming in, it does look like the number one pairing is Figueiredo and Dawson. Also with Colback and Watson sat in front of the defence, or possibly Yates or Bridcut who can also play that role. It depends who Karanka favours. Well, that's a strong spine to the team now, who should hopefully take the pressure off the defence a bit more now, with the addition of what Forest would hope to be is more goals to the team. So overall, Forest recruitment does look good, and they are in a stronger position going into this season than they were last. They've invested a lot of money in this squad, so they'll be looking for a return on this investment, and that will have to be Premier League football. But the success of this team will all depend on if the new signings are able to gel and settle into the Championship, and it might be a case where they get off to a slow start and it takes for a few games for them to get going, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's the video for today, guys. EFL season kicks off on Friday with Derby versus Reading. I will be bringing EFL content over the coming season, so if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and enjoy the opening weekend of the season.